And I'd like to start with taking a broad view on the flexible packaging landscape. Obviously, flexible packaging offers many advantages, but it also faces some challenges when it comes to the perception of how sustainable it actually is. So how does Constantia Flexibles address this challenge?
Yeah, that's right. There are challenges, but let's first have a look at what packaging actually does, at least when it comes to primary packaging. It protects food and pharmaceuticals, and I think we need to repeat that constantly and educate a little bit. It keeps them away from UV radiation, water vapor. It keeps them away from oxygen and other substances, which would turn them into waste quickly. And especially during the COVID pandemic, many people have learned that packaging can do for them, what packaging can do for them in terms of keeping things clean and hygienic. And on top of that, it ensures that communication is actually happening with the consumer. It has to fulfill all sorts of regulations, features which are demanded by laws, regulators, and of course our clients. And these are the main things packaging actually does. Before all the challenges you mentioned above, of course, and it is a challenge of multiple origins. First of all, there is a lack of information, which is shaping the perception of packaging, mainly plastics packaging. And that reputation is not so good. In many cases, packaging is perceived primarily as waste, whilst it actually is a valuable raw material, we believe. Secondly, packaging format does not compare to packaging format, which means a rigid packaging, for example, serves different purposes than a flexible packaging and are not very easy to interchange. Number three, packaging substrates, and that is the main challenge in the past and until just recently, have been often made of mixed materials like alu paper, polyethylene, polypropylene, and mixed versions of all of that together. And therefore, it is difficult to make it circular and recyclable. And we at Constantia Flexibles are clearly committed to a circular economy and widely rely on the use of monomaterials. And we think this is the difference we can make, we as Constantia, but the whole industry can make. And if we look at the history of Constantia, in our first plant in Austria, we are working with aluminum from the beginning. And for those who don't know aluminum, it is one of the best performing packaging materials. And it turns out that it's almost endlessly recyclable. While with a few exceptions, most of other packaging substrates are actually downcycled. And they go into a second life, which is also great. But again, it is not so easy to turn them into the same quality of packaging as it was before. And that is a big difference. But please don't understand that wrongly. We, of course, there is a reason why there are different materials out there. And that is why we are following also a so-called 360-degree approach when it comes to packaging substrates. And the big difference we try to make is that we focus on the so-called monomaterial solutions, which are perfectly recyclable and circular, whilst trying to deliver the same performance for the tailor-made solutions we offer to our clients.